if we want to turn it off, we'll turn it off.
Okay, it's recording now, and it's just a little red button.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay. Lady, are you walking us through?
Yeah, so we were going to talk about why we're doing each one of these, starting with warm-up.
Yep.
That one's pretty easy. Why do we do warm-up?
To break the ice, to let them start to feel comfortable that a stranger is in their house, you know?
I often say because I'm uncomfortable sometimes walking into someone's house. Like I want
That's
to be
true, I need to be comfortable too.
I want to be
Yeah.
comfortable. They're uncomfortable. I want
Yeah.
everybody to be comfortable, whether that's relating to something like we talked about on the wall or whatever.
It gives you a chance to just kind of settle too. You've got a bunch of stuff with you, like to sit
You're
down.
gonna be there for 3 hours potentially.
Right, right. If you need to take your shoes off or like put your stuff down, the best thing is when they offer you something to eat or drink or both.
Well, I think a big part of that, them feeling comfortable, is just, I mean, this sounds silly, but is really good manners. Like being really respectful and really polite. Like, should I take my shoes off? You have such a lovely home. Thank you for having us today, or whatever that looks like. But like that, you know, kind of more.
Be a gracious
formal,
guest.
Gracious, good manners. You do what your mama taught you. You know,
That's right.
Be respectful.
So make them comfortable, make us comfortable, and be like, what do you call it? What kind of guest? Righteous guest?
Gracious.
Gracious. No, righteous. Gracious guest.
Gracious guest, and making everyone comfortable. Cool.
Because it really is, you know, when I let someone into my home, it's an honor that I'm letting them into my home. You know, like, you know, just let anyone into your home.
Right.
So,
Okay. Endless question is going to overshadow this whole thing, right?
Yeah.
So why do we do the why can't I write?
To give them a clue of what's happening. It's our first opportunity, I think, to show up or to tell them what makes FBC different. They may have already seen it just in the warm-up. Again, being gracious and polite and everything. They might not see that from everyone, but the YPI Light gives them a snippet into our process.
It gives them context for what you're
While
doing,
you're there.
why you're there, whether they've met with somebody else or not. The way that we do things and the process in which we do them, the care that we put into it is very different. And they are probably not expecting that. So it sets you up for the whole rest of your appointment. You're telling them a little bit of how we're different, so that as you go through your appointment, you can then show them.
Yeah, I think it's key. Like I said, they may have had 4 people before us, and all of a sudden they're off. You can take them off their guard a little bit if they know that this is what this is how it's going to go. This is how we're different. A bit of it, and you're touching that throughout. I think that's great.
It gives you a chance to talk about all of the other bits and pieces too that we are going to be talking about in depth. So you can bring things up like, hey, today we're going to talk through everything that's really important for you guys. So whether that's timeline or budget or who's coming in and out of your house, we're going to talk about all of that today, so that they can kind of get mentally prepared and not feel taken aback when all of a sudden you're asking them a direct question about budget or timeline or if they're going to finance their project or
They
whatever.
understand why you're asking.
Yeah.
That's key.
And they've had a warm up to it. But
and they can relax a minute because they may be concerned about, oh my God, timing's so important to me, budget's so important to me. Like, when are we going to talk about that? So it can kind of ease them. Oh, okay, we'll get to that.
also, if it is something that they're really nervous about, oftentimes they'll bring it up right then. Oh, good. So we are going to talk about how much it's going to cost.
Yeah, I'm really concerned about.
I'm really concerned
Right.
about that.
You may go right out of the gate.
And you're like, great. Well, do you want to talk about like you can jump into it then if it feels right to do it. The order is not so important. It's really just having that natural flow and using all of these tools when it makes sense to do so.
And it's starting to drive home the idea of how important our process is. Because, I mean, I tell people right off the bat, if we don't follow this process, we found that things actually don't go so well. So it gives them that idea of, oh, okay, you know.
For them, though.
For them,
the client,
exactly.
Not just for
Yeah.
us.
Yeah.
Look, if you don't do what I tell you to do, this is going to go awful for me. So just get on board.